Ladies and gentlemen, right now as you sit here, a war rages on. It's not one fought with swords or guns, nor does it play out on a battlefield we can see. It's a war fought in the shadows, deep within the corners of your mind. The stakes, everything. Your purpose, your potential, your peace of mind. The mind is the ultimate battleground. It's the place where every victory or defeat in your life begins. Yet most people sleepwalk through this battle, unaware that every fear, every doubt, and every whisper of "I can't" is the enemy advancing its front lines. Let me tell you something, the enemy is cunning. It doesn't storm in like a hurricane. No, it's subtle. It seeps in through self-doubt, through the opinions of others, and through the lies you tell yourself when life gets hard. If you don't fight back, if you surrender your mind to these forces, you lose everything. You lose your chance to rise above mediocrity. You lose relationships because insecurity poisons them. You lose opportunities because fear paralyzes you. That's the cost of losing this battle. But here's the good news. Your mind isn't just a battlefield. It's your greatest weapon. It's stronger than you think. Sharpen it and it will cut through every obstacle in your way. Train it and it will silence the voices of doubt and fear. How do you do that? Discipline. Discipline is your shield in this fight. You can't let your thoughts wander like an undisciplined soldier. You need to control what you allow into your mind. Reject negativity, set boundaries, and focus on what fuels your growth. And let's not forget faith. Faith is your anchor in the storm. When your mind feels like it's caving in, faith steadies you. It gives you the courage to keep fighting, even when the odds feel insurmountable. This battle won't be won overnight. It's a daily grind, a relentless effort to take back control. But the victory is worth it, because on the other side of this war is freedom. It's the life you were meant to live, one of purpose, confidence, and peace. So, I challenge you today. Don't shy away from the battle. Embrace it. Fight it with every ounce of conviction you have. And remember, you're not just fighting to win, you're fighting to unleash the unstoppable champion that's been buried within you all along. The mind is a battlefield. Every day, every moment, a war is raging within you. It's a war that most people don't even realize is happening. But trust me when I say this, what happens in your mind will ultimately shape everything that happens in your life. If you allow yourself to be defeated here, nothing else in the world will matter. You could be the most successful, the most talented, the most gifted person in the world. But if you can't win the battle of your mind, you'll never fully unlock your potential. Your mind is the first place the enemy will attack, and it's the last place where you'll find your true strength. That's where all the whispers of doubt creep in. That's where fear tries to grip you, where insecurity takes root, and where failure looms over you like a shadow. These thoughts aren't just fleeting. They are designed to derail you. They are meant to make you doubt your worth, question your decisions, and stop you from taking action. You see, every thought you have is like a seed planted in your mind. The more you water it, the more it grows. And if you allow negative, limiting thoughts to take root, they will eventually choke out your dreams. Every time you hear that voice telling you that you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, that you don't have what it takes, that's the enemy pushing forward in this spiritual war. But here's what most people don't understand. You have control over your mind. It's yours. You can decide what thoughts to entertain and which ones to reject. You are not a slave to every passing thought. You have the power to choose what you think about, what you focus on, and what you allow to define you. This is the key to winning the battlefield, because government can give you answers, but your mind allows you to define you. You need to recognize that Every battle fought in your mind is not just a battle for your thoughts, but for your future. The way you think today will determine the path you walk tomorrow. If you let your mind dwell on negativity, on past mistakes, on the fear of what could go wrong, then that's exactly what you'll experience. You'll attract more of what you fear, more of what you resist, and more of what you focus on. But when you take control of your mind, when you begin to dominate your thoughts with intention and focus, you will change everything. Instead of letting fear dictate your actions, you'll make bold decisions. Instead of letting doubts hold you back, you'll rise to the occasion. Instead of being a victim of your circumstances, you'll become the architect of your destiny. The mind is where the true battle begins. It's where your worth is tested, your resolve is built, and your destiny is forged. The most powerful force you possess in this life is the strength of your mind, your ability to control it, direct it, and use it to propel you forward. It's time to realize the mind is not something to be conquered by outside forces, but something to be mastered. The enemy might try to invade, but the power to push it back is in your hands. You have the choice, and that is what makes this battle so significant. What will you choose? Will you allow your mind to be a place of chaos, a place of negativity, a place of defeat? Or will you transform it into the very weapon that propels you into greatness? The power is in your hands. The enemy is not always obvious. It doesn't wear a uniform or carry a weapon that you can see with your eyes. It comes in the form of thoughts, insidious, subtle, and often so deeply embedded in your mind that you don't even realize they're there. It's the voice that tells you you're not good enough or you'll never make it. It's the doubts that settle in when you're about to take a big step forward. It's the fear that whispers in your ear, making you question every decision and every move. This enemy is relentless and it knows exactly where to strike. It doesn't come at you head on with force. No, it sneaks up quietly, inching its way into your mind through the cracks of your insecurities, your past mistakes, and your unhealed wounds. It knows the perfect buttons to push, the perfect memories to bring up, the perfect fears to amplify. It knows how to make you question your worth, to make you second guess your potential, and to make you believe that the dream inside of you is too big, too impossible to reach. The enemy is the weight of your past mistakes, trying to keep you tethered to yesterday. It's the guilt, the shame, the what ifs that haunt you, making you feel like you're not allowed to move forward. It's the belief that you'll always be defined by your past, that your mistakes will forever hold you back. But here's the truth. Your past does not define you unless you let it. The enemy is the lie that says you're unworthy of success, happiness, or peace. It's the voice that tells you that you're not smart enough, not talented enough, or not capable of achieving your goals. It's the critic in your head, constantly tearing you down, reminding you of every failure, and pointing out every flaw. This enemy wants to keep you in a cycle of self-doubt and fear where you're stuck in a place of inaction, unable to move forward because you believe the lie that you're not enough. The enemy is the distractions that pull you away from your purpose. It's the temptation to focus on what doesn't matter, the endless noise that keeps you from being present, from being grounded in your vision and your goals. It's the constant bombardment of irrelevant thoughts, worries, and concerns that flood your mind, stealing your attention and your energy. But these distractions are the enemy's way of keeping you from focusing on what truly matters, keeping you from your mission and the life you were meant to live. The enemy also thrives in comparison. It's the voice that convinces you that you're falling behind, that everyone else is ahead of you, that they have it all together while you're stuck in a rut. It's the poison of jealousy, envy, and the constant measuring of yourself against others. The enemy wants you to believe that you're not enough because you haven't reached someone else's version of success. It wants you to forget that your journey is your own and that your progress is unique to you. But here's the thing, this enemy isn't invincible. Its power lies in the fact that we give it permission to exist in our minds. The moment you recognize these negative thoughts and lies for what they are, you start to take away their power. The moment you refuse to accept that you're not enough, that you can't succeed, that your past defines you, you start to dismantle the enemy's stronghold. You are stronger than this enemy. You have the power to replace these lies with truth, to replace doubt with faith, to replace fear with courage. The enemy may try to steal your peace, but it cannot take your power unless you let it. Recognize it, fight it, and you will find that the enemy is nothing more than a shadow that fades the moment you shine the light of truth into it. Your mind is not just a passive space where thoughts come and go. It's a weapon, a powerful untapped force that can either destroy or build, depending on how you wield it. Most people don't understand the magnitude of this. They think their thoughts are just fleeting things, not realizing that every single thought you entertain has the power to shape your reality. But in the hands of someone who doesn't control it, it can wound, limit, and keep you in chains. Every thought you have is a spark. It's a seed planted in the soil of your mind, and whatever you water will grow. The world doesn't know what's happening inside you. They don't hear the conversations you're having with yourself, the doubts you entertain, or the fears that hold you back. But you know, you feel it. And you can either let those seeds of negativity and fear grow into a wild, uncontrollable force, or you can plant seeds of strength, conviction, and purpose, and watch them blossom into a life of incredible achievement. The mind is your battlefield, but it's also your greatest weapon. When you decide to use it consciously, when you decide to harness its power and direct it toward your goals, it becomes unstoppable. You have the power to create your reality, to break through any limitation, to rewrite your story. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the external world. Your mind can either be the enemy's greatest ally or your greatest asset. It all depends on which thoughts you allow to control you. Think about it. Every successful person, every person who's made a significant impact on the world had to first conquer their mind. They had to make the decision to no longer be a slave to doubt, fear, or insecurity. They had to make the choice to believe in something greater than the limitations of their own mind. And once they did that, once they took control of their thoughts and directed them toward a vision, a purpose, they became unstoppable. What would happen if you decided today that you were the master of your mind? What if you took every negative thought that tries to drag you down, every voice of fear and doubt, and rejected it? What if you replaced it with an unshakable belief that you can achieve anything you set your mind to? Imagine the power you would wield. Imagine the strength you would walk with. You would become a force to be reckoned with. But here's the truth, the mind doesn't just automatically become powerful. It takes work, it takes discipline, it takes intentional effort to shape your mind into a weapon that works for you, not against you. You can't let your thoughts run wild and unchecked. You can't afford to let fear take root or doubt to settle in. Every time you allow negativity to take up space in your mind, you're weakening your weapon. But every time you take control, every time you challenge the lies, every time you focus your thoughts on your purpose, you sharpen that weapon and make it more powerful. You are given the most powerful weapon in existence, the human mind. And when you learn to master it, you will unlock potential that no one can take away. It doesn't matter what's happening outside of you. It doesn't matter how many obstacles stand in your way. If you control your mind, faith is not just a belief in something bigger than yourself. It's the driving force that propels you forward, even when everything around you tells you to stop. It's a force that keeps you going when you can't see the road ahead, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, and when the world is full of doubt and negativity. Faith is what turns the impossible into possible. It's not about the absence of fear or uncertainty, but the courage to keep moving forward in spite of them. It's knowing deep in your soul that you are destined for more, even when the circumstances don't align with your vision. Faith is the conviction that the journey is worth it, even when you can't see the destination. It's the ability to trust in a greater plan when your current situation looks nothing like the promise you hold in your heart. Faith is the strength to take the next step, even when you're unsure of the outcome. It's the quiet knowing that, even in your darkest moments, there is some faith keeps you grounded when life tries to shake you loose. It roots you in something deeper than your circumstances, something greater than your doubts. It is the anchor that keeps you from being carried away by the storms of life. Faith isn't passive, it's active. It's a force that you must engage with every day. It's not enough to simply believe, you must act on that belief. Trust in it enough to take steps toward your dreams, even when the path is unclear. Faith demands that you show up, even when the world is telling you to give up. It requires that you move forward with the certainty that the universe is conspiring in your favor, even when you don't see immediate results. Faith is the quiet assurance that no matter how many times you fall, there's a force within you strong enough to pick you up, to keep you moving, and to see you through to the other side. Faith is also the fuel for perseverance. Without it, you'd have no reason to keep going when things get tough. Without faith, every setback becomes a failure, and every obstacle seems like an insurmountable barrier. But with faith, setbacks are simply opportunities to grow stronger, and obstacles become stepping stones to greater achievements. Faith turns your failures into lessons and your challenges into triumphs. It transforms adversity into the very thing that shapes you into the person you are meant to be. The role of faith is not just about achieving success, it's about finding purpose in the journey. It's about embracing the process, trusting that each step you take is part of a larger plan. Faith doesn't promise that everything will be easy, but it promises that you will be equipped to handle whatever comes your way. It gives you the strength to keep moving when you feel like quitting. It fills you with the courage to face the unknown, to step into the discomfort, and to pursue your vision regardless of how impossible it seems. Faith is also the power to transform your mind. It redefines your limits, challenges your perceptions, and pushes you to believe in possibilities beyond what you've been taught or what you can currently see. With faith, you can look at a situation that appears hopeless and still see an opportunity. You can look at failure and still see a lesson. Faith opens the door to a new reality, one where you are capable of more than you ever imagined. It teaches you to trust in the unseen, to believe in the impossible, and to act as if everything you need is already on its way. Faith is a bridge that connects your present reality with the future you desire. It takes you beyond your limitations, beyond your fears, and into the life you were meant to live. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to take action. It's about trusting that every step you take with faith leads you closer to that moment. With faith, you will find the strength to overcome every obstacle, the resilience to bounce back from every failure, and the vision to see beyond every challenge. It is the foundation upon which all success is built and the power that moves you from where you are to where you're meant to be. Victory through persistence is not about luck, talent, or timing. It's about a relentless determination to keep moving forward no matter what. Life doesn't reward those who give up. It rewards those who keep fighting, who keep showing up when others quit. It's about getting back up when you've been knocked down and pushing through the toughest moments with the belief that victory is just beyond the horizon. Persistence is the secret weapon of every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary. It is the difference between those who dream and those who actually make those dreams a reality. The road to victory is not a straight path. It's filled with detours, roadblocks, and moments when it feels like you'll never get there. But what separates those who succeed from those who fail is their ability to persist when the journey gets hard. Most people give up right before the breakthrough, right before the moment when their efforts would have paid off. They quit because they can't see the end result, because they're tired, because the road is too rough. But persistence means continuing when it feels impossible, when you don't have the answers, and when the finish line seems miles away. Persistence is about trust, trusting that every step, even the smallest one, is moving you closer to your goal. Think about the countless people throughout history who faced incredible odds, people who overcame the most unimaginable challenges. It wasn't their genius or luck that got them to the top. It was their ability to persist, to refuse to let failure define them. Every great success story is built on the foundation of persistence. Doesn't matter how many times you fail or how long it takes. If you keep going, you will eventually reach the point where victory becomes inevitable. Detecting your failure is incredibly important. And the more you persist, the stronger you become. Every challenge you face, every obstacle that tries to stop you, becomes an opportunity to sharpen your character and fortify your resolve. Victory through persistence isn't just about achieving external success. It's about the person you become in the process. It's about developing a mindset that no matter how hard things get, you will not quit. You will adapt, you will overcome, and you will keep going because you know that persistence is the key to unlocking everything you want in life. When you are choosing resilience, you are choosing to refuse defeat and to turn every setback into fuel for the next step. There will be moments of doubt. There will be days when the world seems against you and the voices of fear tell you that it's too much. But in those moments, persistence is what will keep you going. You may not have control over the external forces that try to hold you back, but you have control over your will to persist. That's where your power lies. And every time you push through, you're building a force that nothing can stop. People who succeed are not the ones who never face obstacles. They're the ones who get back up every single time. Persistence means taking that one more step when you feel like collapsing, staying the course when others have already turned back. It means looking at every failure as a lesson and using that lesson to propel yourself forward. It's the ability to keep moving when everything inside you wants to quit, to keep pushing when you can't see the way ahead. It's the belief that if you just keep showing up, one day it will all click. One day all the effort, the sacrifice, the struggle, and you will stand there in victory, knowing that every moment of persistence was worth it. The truth is, victory is not a one-time event. It's a process. It's a series of small wins, the accumulation of every ounce of persistence you've put in. It's the ability to look at each setback as a setup for something greater. The key to victory is not in avoiding failure, but in learning to keep going despite it. Victory through persistence means that you are unstoppable. The world may try to break you, but if you keep persisting, you will break through. And when you finally reach your goal, you will look back with pride and know that it wasn't just the victory that mattered. It was the persistence, the grit, the relentless pursuit of your dreams that made you who you are.